Your entire experience is right now limited to the play of your body and the play of your mind. You're seeing the world because it's being reflected in your mind. But in this mind, it never reflects you. This side of the mirror, this is just a reflection. All the real action is on the other side. Once you fall on the other side of the mind, a completely different dimension begins to speak. When something moves within you, which is neither your body nor your mind, then it's a different world altogether. Why a Manzoor was stoned to death, why a Jesus is crucified, one guy starts talking too much sense. You must either accept your insanity or the best thing is to kill the guy. In human perception, time is measured in so many ways. It could be measured from mealtime to mealtime or from one bladderful to next bladderful or as days and nights, weeks and months, a year has more cosmic significance than these other forms because it's one cycle of the planet around the sun. But time as an experience is relevant to us or how relevant to us. For each individual, it's different. Generally, children are not counting time. Youth also, not much counting time, unless it's close to the examination. But as people age, they start counting time because on one level, the physical body keeps time as it creaks, as it swells and aches. And above all, it's no more the body that you wore 25 years ago, time. And time becomes very relevant in human life only because we're mortal, because there's an expiry date. If there was no expiry date, who would care about time? Who would really be bothered about time? If there was no expiry date, who would think of celebrating a new year? If you were eternal only because there is an expiry date, which means it's a limited amount of time, so we're keeping count. Not everybody is fully conscious as to why time exists in their life and what is its significance and what is its relevance and what is its irrelevance to our life. The more identified you are with the body, the more you will keep time. New Year's and birthdays will become very important because you're very physical in your experience. But so is the mind, because the nature of What people generally experience as their minds is simply memory and imagination. Memory always keeps time. Imagination also can only think in terms of time. What should happen tomorrow? What should happen day after tomorrow? What should happen 10 years later? What should happen at the end of my life? It's always in terms of time, because imagination is not an existence by itself, it's all memory. Exaggerated memory is imagination. Memory with makeup on is imagination. If you take away all the makeup on your imagination, you will see it's just memory. So essentially, because people are experiencing only the memory part of their life, both in mind and in body. When I say both in mind and body, your body has a certain structure, your nose is of a certain shape. No, I'm not commenting about that, okay. Your skin is of a certain tone. This is all memory, genetic memory. Your body sits erect, doesn't lie down like this, like a squirrel or a snake. It's evolutionary memory. Everything that you think you are is actually a product of a certain kind of memory. And memory is of time. Without time, memory will not be relevant. If there was no time calibrated into your memory system, you would not be able to remember what is yesterday, what is day before, what was 10 years ago, what was your childhood. No, it would all get mixed up. So the calibration of time into the system of memory that we have, both evolutionary, genetic, conscious, subconscious and conscious levels of memories, all of them are calibrated with time. And not all of this you remember consciously, but they play with time. At different times of your life, different types of memories play up. If you're conscious of this one segment of the solar cycle, which is a year, you would see, if you watch yourself, you look at your life this way. A major event happened. When I say event, I'm not talking about an event that happened outside. Experientially, a major event happened for you. From that day, you count 12 years and look back and see there will be a pattern and a cycle attached to it. Experientially, if you're running a full 12-year cycle, life will be one way. But experientially, if you're running shorter cycles of your own, you will be not in sync with the larger cycle of memory. The memory of the movement of the planet and the solar system is very much inscribed into this body. The geometry of this body, the way it conducts itself, the way it wakes up, the way it goes to sleep, all these timings are in sync with the memory of the solar system. When I say the memory of the solar system, somewhere in a different way, not the way you know memory consciously, in a different way, the planet remembers, this is the number of days and hours I should take to complete this cycle. Suppose it gets forgetful. Suppose 1 year happens in 3 years, then everything will go haywire. That means you will have to endure 3 years of summer at a time. Others will have to endure 1 year of summer at a time or 1 year of winter at a time, because then the cycles would be broken that way. So in some sense, the solar system has its own memory, which in turn reflects in every life, every animate and inanimate form that is found in this system, because everything is shaped by the system as a whole. So if you are living totally involved either with your physiological processes or your psychological processes, then you will be a kind of a product of time. I didn't want to use the word victim because all of you would claim, Sadhguru, it's just the wrong time I'm behaving like this. No. But you're a product of time. This is the reason why for a long time, since the time of Adiyogi, we've been talking about consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. Because consciousness means transcendence of cycles of time, that you are no more a product of time. Product of time means you are a repetitive creature. Product of time means your nature will never find expression, only the physiological and the psychological will find expression. What I mean by this is, right now as you sit here, what you're trying to do is understand the words. And because it's a darshan, you're keeping your eyes open and looking at me. So you are conscious that I'm here, you're conscious that I'm speaking. Maybe you understand the words. One thing that's missing is, you are not conscious that you are alive and you're here. When somebody pokes your low, nobody has to poke you. When you sit like this, when your legs ache, you know there are legs, but you don't know that you are there. Now I want you to look at this. This is one thing that's always missing. It is always the thought and emotion and the memory of life which is playing up. That you as a life, you exist right now, this experience is not there. You have experience of the world, you have experience of the people, you have no experience of this one. What you call as my mind and my body is again a product of the world and the people. But this one is not in experience, because this one is on the other side of the mind. What you call as my mind, in a way, is like a mirror. Well, it may not be a plain mirror, it may be very distorted, but still it's a mirror, it shows you the world. How are you seeing the world right now? Because it's mirrored in your mind, so you're seeing the world. Whether you see it straight or distorted or upside down, well, that's a debate. But you're seeing the world because it's being reflected in your mind. But in this mind, it never reflects you. If you even physically, if you have to look at yourself, you need a mirror. Otherwise, you don't know how you look. Suppose tomorrow morning, you wake up and let's say in the night, your eyebrows are gone. You won't know till you look at yourself in the mirror, because these eyes are not designed to look at yourself. When I say look at yourself, I'm not talking about your physical self or your psychological self. You can sit and contemplate about your thought and emotion, but you cannot contemplate the self. Your existence cannot be contemplated. It can only be experienced, but right now, the mind is having a psychedelic experience of seeing people, making conclusions, making judgments, seeing the world, all kinds of things, and well, the internet. Too many things. So the mind is reflecting all this, but there is no experience of me. There is no experience of this life. But the most important thing, The most important thing in this existence right now for you is you are here, isn't it? Otherwise, who cares whether the cosmos exists or not? Only because you are here, everything matters. The planet, kept the time. It didn't win a race, but kept the time, so much celebration. If it won a race with Mercury, then you would be in trouble. Because there is no experience of this one, because of this, everything is a reflection. We call this chaya. Unfortunately, these days people are taking on the name of chaya. That means they'll say Krishna chaya, Devi chaya like this because the image of God, reflection of the divine. That is fine, but right now, even the divine is the way it's been taught to us. When there is no experience of the self, there is no question of experiencing the source of the self, because we haven't even touched life. We have a kaleidoscope of experience which is all happening on the mirror. It's like this, you do one thing, you take your home mirror all over the world, show it everything that's happening in the world. Come home and look at it. Doesn't remember a thing, hasn't left an imprint of experience. Show your mirror the celebrations of the planet, show your mirror the horrors of the planet, show your mirror the wars of the planet, show your mirror the most beautiful images of the world. But when you come home, no impact. Please see, that's what is happening. The only impact that is happening on most human beings' life is the memory that they remember. They dig into their memory, either make themselves happy or make themselves unhappy. They keep on digging into their memory, yesterday what happened? And some people have learned to use their dream to create happiness. Some people are using their dream to make themselves miserable. But essentially, whether it's joy or misery, the source is the dream that's happening in one's mind. Well, I appreciate you're at least creating a pleasant dream. It's good for you and good for others. Unpleasant dream is not worth it. What? Not worth it, right? So, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do what's not worth it, because today is a reminder that you have an expiry date. Oh, Sadhguru, we thought you were going to throw a party. Here you are, reminding us there is an expiry date. The most serious crime that humanity has committed is they have not understood they are mortal. There is no urgency for their life. They think they have time to do all kinds of rubbish, all kinds of rubbish. They have time because they're eternal people. If they knew they have an expiry date and it could be today, they would be in a certain state of urgency to know what the hell this is all about. And you will never know what the hell this is about, because your entire experience is right now limited to your physiological structure, the play of your body and the play of your mind, which is all play of different forms of memory. So this landmark of time, which we call a new year, is a time when we have to do something about this, that another moment, another day, another year should not definitely pass without you knowing life, The only way to know life is not with food, not with drink, not with love, not with pleasure. The only way to know life is if you get to the other side of the mirror. This side of the mirror, you can only see drama. You cannot see life in its essence. There are many ways to approach this. We have taught you powerful processes, which some of you might have reduced them into morning torture and evening torture, or morning ritual and evening ritual. These are powerful systems which can get you to the other side of the mirror. But once you start doing, oh, I have to do this, then it'll become morning ritual, evening ritual, oh my God, do I have to do it? It will become morning torture, evening torture. I don't know what you've done with this, but essentially these are powerful devices to get you to the other side of the mirror. When I say the other side of the mirror, you must understand, memory, whatever kind of memory you have, even if you have lifetimes of memory, still it's a limited memory. From this memory, if you make judgments, you're obviously a prejudiced being, a prejudiced mind rather. Once you sanctify your prejudice, then you become a skewed life, not knowing what you have done to yourself. You will be fine only among your kind. If you're with another kind, suddenly you will be out of place. People call this the zone, the comfort zone. They're comfortable only with 3 people in their life. Anything else, now, this reflection of what's happening on the surface of the mind or the mirror of the mind keeps you engaged for a lifetime, either in a positive way or in a negative way. It can just keep you engaged for a lifetime and more. The same thoughts, same emotions, endlessly going on and on and on. One simple thing, we can do it right now if you're willing. One simple thing is, we taught you some very simple processes, but some of you thought you graduated beyond that and you no more do those things. The most basic thing that we are teaching to whoever comes our way, wherever, is the Isha Kriya. When you say, I am not the body, I am not the mind, if you continue to say it for a period of time, it simply means, I am no more a product of memory. I am not an accumulation. If I am not an accumulation, I must be something more than that. If I am not a memory, I do not belong to time. There is no new year for me, there is no old year for me. There is no year for me, because the dimension which is beyond the accumulations is what is making you alive. It's not… the memory is giving it a form, a shape, a tone, a certain inclination, but it is not making you alive. Your aliveness comes from that fundamental source which is on the other side of your mental mirror. Innumerable things I have said in this direction, but today, because it's a new year, I want you to make an effort, a sustained effort. Wherever you are, right now you're here, are you? No, I'm asking you a genuine question. Don't give me a reaction of an answer. Are you here? Yes, sir. No. When I ask you, are you here, I want you to close your eyes and check. Just here. If it's true, say yes, otherwise, don't know, not sure. Thoughts are there, emotions are there, of course body is telling its own stories, but am I really here? So you can tell yourself, I am here, I am here, I am here, but they will again be words and language come from the memory bank. If we take away your memory, which language would you speak? There would be no language, there would be no words. So, not in terms of words, I am here. I want you to just feel and say, I'm here. Well, the body is here, my mind always doing things, that's here. Me, I'm here. For these things you can employ a few simple methods. Whenever something happens, let us say you're hungry, really hungry, then you go sit there, you want to eat, but they'll say, oh, okay, oh. Then that extraordinarily long chant, why can't they sing that long, slow chant. Then the volunteers don't seem to be in any hurry. Now, you must sit with this because the reason why, for ages, anybody who wanted to be spiritual, first thing they did is forego food for periods of time. This is not to torment yourself. When you're hungry, there's a clear distinction between what is you and what is your body. When you're really hungry, if you simply sit there and then they'll do their om, their chant, you simply sit there, you will see there is a distance between this and that. Now, you eat the first morsel of food, the hunger, just in installments, it gets satiated. There is a feeling of pleasantness spreading through the body if you're really hungry. Or you're really thirsty, you drink one glass of water. Not just the coolness that happens, the entire being feels pleasant. Just stay with that pleasantness. Not with the stomach being full, not with the thirst being gone, just the pleasantness of experience, because the experience is caused from within. The experience is not caused by the mind. The mind chooses the experience, but the mind cannot cause the experience. If you look at this person and your mind thinks, oh, he's horrible, now you choose an unpleasant experience, but the experience is caused from within. Now you look at another person and you think, oh, she's wonderful. Now your mind has chosen the experience, but mind does not cause the experience. Something within, what you call as myself or what we call as life, causes the experience. So whatever the experience, when you drink water, what is the experience? Cool breeze, the experience, not the sensation. There are two aspects to this. Cool breeze comes, the pleasure of it. This is sensation. This is why all pleasures are called sensory pleasures, because this is the pleasantness of senses. That is not the real thing. Because once again, the senses are only choosing, they are not creating the experience. So pleasantness happens. The sensation of the breeze, leave that alone, that'll anyway happen, enjoy that, there's no problem with that. But the important thing is the pleasantness that happened. Just stay with that pleasantness. Slowly, you are going to the other side of the mirror, especially at certain times of the day. What is referred to as Sandhya Kalas right now? Sandhya Kala means a transition period, it's a cusp in time. From this to that, a transition is happening where there is a little bit of gap. Right now, we are in a certain Sandhya Kala, just crossing that. At this time, just choose something which causes pleasantness within you, or drink a glass of water. Take a lungful of air. If you don't… just a lungful of air doesn't cause pleasantness within you, hold this for a minute and then inhale. You will see it's a phenomenally pleasant experience. Yes? Or you can seek help from a friend. If you suffocate for a minute and then inhale, fantastic. Now the sensation and the relief that comes to the body, leave that alone. But the pleasantness of experience, just the pleasantness of experience. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because this is how far words go. Now, if you drink a glass of water, the thirst is being quenched, your throat is feeling better, there is coolness spreading in your body. Not that. Beyond that, there is an experience of pleasantness. You try to stay with that experience. If you learn to stay with that experience, right now you will see most of you cannot stay there for more than 2 to 3 seconds. Again, thought will come, okay, when is the next glass of water? Without thought and emotion, just staying with the pleasantness of some experience, whether it's the breeze or the breath or the water or the food or anything for that matter. If you stay with that, slowly you're shifting to the other side of the mirror, particularly during times of Sandhya. And the most important Sandhya for you is the moment when you're falling asleep and the moment you're waking up. We want to make use of that gap. When things are on full, things won't cooperate. When there is a little space, that's what a new year is supposed to mean. What the problem is, 31st night, midnight, exactly at 12 o'clock, you are supposed to watch the cusp of time. From one to another, it shifted. You're supposed to notice that. No, half the people in the world are drunk. What will they notice? All they will do is scream. So you don't have to do anything, if you just turn the clock, if you make all the clocks go 1 hour early, they will all shout at 11 o'clock. If you slow down all the clocks, they will all shout at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So I'm saying there is no attempt to experience that cusp. The idea of celebrating the shift in times is to be able to make use of that cusp, because when the time is rolling in a certain way, you are a complete product of memory and time. When there is a certain break, a certain space, here there is little room to go beyond that. So the Sandhya Kalas every day, 4 times a day are that. And for your own system, for your own body, the most important Sandhyas are when you're falling asleep and when you're waking up. Those moments. In the morning, you're coming awake but not still awake. This is the time you must look, because there is a certain pleasantness in coming awake. But if you are if you are thinking about the Surya Kriya, one more day. Wow, another day. No, one more day. So, if you wake up, the coming alive of the body, there is a certain pleasantness which will spread through it. If you remain with that pleasantness at that moment as you're coming awake, your entire day, your mind will dip into pleasantness and it will do pleasant things to you. If your mind does pleasant things to you, you will do pleasant things to the world around you. This is the only guarantee, right? If your mind is doing unpleasant things to you, you make sure you share it, of course. You believe in sharing. Now, similar thing when you're going to bed, when you're falling asleep, just those moments, when you're almost asleep but still little wakefulness, in that restfulness there is a pleasantness spreading through the body. This is more difficult to be aware because this is a reverse process. When body is beginning to rest, there is a certain pleasantness, but there is a certain, for lack of words, I'm saying a certain numbness going into the system. It's much more difficult to be aware of this moment than the waking moment. In waking moment, there is the help of aliveness. In sleeping moment, it takes a little more effort. But if you notice the pleasantness that is happening because of restfulness, you will see your sleep will be of a completely different quality. It'll be completely dreamless because you will be on the other side of the mirror. Whatever happens on the mirror doesn't matter, but what you need to know is nothing happens on the mirror by itself. Only what's happening around reflects in the mirror. Nothing ever happens in the mirror, yes? It doesn't take pictures of you when you were young and deceive you when you're old, fortunately. It just shows what's standing in front. So all the time, that's all the mind is doing. But because it is assisted by memory, you can turn everything into pleasantness or you can turn everything into unpleasantness. There is nothing in this world which is truly pleasant. There is nothing in this world which is truly unpleasant. It is just the way you reference it with your memory and decide what is pleasant and what is unpleasant. If you use simple means like this, whenever there is pleasantness within you, just to stay with that experience, to see that that experience endures. Most people are not even conscious of this experience. They know only the pleasantness or the pleasure of the senses. They rarely notice the pleasantness of something much deeper happening within themselves. This is the idea, this is the fundamental idea of doing closed eye processes, any kind of meditativeness, whatever we do, to close your eyes so that the input for the mirror is lowered. But there is memory which still plays. But we can't do this to you. But suppose you close your eyes and sit for next 3 months, don't open. You will see, first month you will go through total madness. After that, slowly, you'll have to work it up. You will have to work it up, otherwise it won't come, thoughts. But then you start thinking, because you kept your eyes closed, okay, when is enlightenment going to happen? When is God going to come? When is light going to arise? When am I going to be able to read everybody's mind? As if you have not seen enough muck in your own you want to see everybody's muck Like this, a different kind of imagination starts flowing. But if you don't give it any input, you will see after 60, 70 days, if you simply sit, simply it's there. You feel like mind will play tricks, it wants to sleep all the time, but you keep yourself alert and sit. You will see simply, just like a mirror where nobody is dancing in front of it, simply there, not seeing anything. Once it's like this, it's very easy to get to the other side. Right now, all the show is here. How to get to the other side? Other side seems to be a dreary little place because everything that's action is this side. How to go to the other side, that's what is the problem. But what you need to understand, all the real action is on the other side. This is just a reflection. If you go to the other side, it is not a product of time. That which is not a product of time is also not a product of space. You understand what I'm saying? See, there is a distance between this point and let's say Coimbatore city. The distance is always in some way related to time, isn't it? You can say, if somebody asks you how far is Coimbatore city, you can say 35 kilometers, or you can say 45 minutes. Yes or no? In most people's experience, distance or space and time are same, isn't it so? So, once something has no time, once something is beyond the memory structures, it has no time. Once there is no time, there is no space, there is no distance. What is there is here, what is here is there. Everything is here and now. The entire cosmos is right here. It's just a simple process, but because you are so busy with your own psychological drama, the life drama is completely missed. Because it is missed, life is punishing people with lifetimes of cycles. These lifetimes and lifetimes happening simply because just giving you an opportunity to experience life and then vanish. You have come here, the important thing is, the only important thing is, you have a powerful experience of life. You know everything except life, because you're only looking at the mirror of the mind as it reflects the world, not looking at what is empowering this mind, what is the basis of all experience within you. It's very, very simple. You just need to understand this. Whatever drama is happening in our lives, all kinds of drama, more drama is happening in my life than anybody's life, okay? Here. But whatever drama may be happening in your life, if you just sit down, you're walking, you came and sat down, is there a pleasantness to that? Now you're sitting, your legs are hurting, you stand up, Is there a pleasantness to that? So I'm saying like this, with every inhalation, exhalation, with every step that you take, you sit down, you stand up, you eat, you drink, with everything this opportunity is there, a certain pleasantness spreads, not on the sensory level, in a much deeper experience. Most people are completely unconscious of this because the overriding psychological drama is happening. Their own emotions and thoughts have become so big, this experience is completely lost. When I first started teaching some kind of yoga, 7 people, 4 days. When I taught the program, everybody would be dry-eyed and dazzled because nobody could understand what I was saying. But everybody knew there is something to this, something that they had not imagined possible. He's right here, but they don't understand a goddamn word that I'm speaking. But they knew there is something. So, generally we made people totally dry-eyed and dazzled. They became like this. That continued till 89. From 82 to 89, 7 years. It was always like this. I taught programs, prowling in the class, not sitting in one place, prowling around and blasting them away. There was an energy which left them, probably they could never again cry in their life. They would become dry-eyed and dazzled, they can't sleep for 3 days. They knew there is something, but they don't know what that thing is. Then in 87 we recognized certain things, and then in 89 we started setting forth a certain plan, what we want to do. Then I knew these dazzling people is not good enough, you got to shake them. So people who have been with me since 89 in Coimbatore and all the other little towns in Tamil Nadu, they know if I just came and sat here on the introduction day, if I simply came and sat here and looked, people will start, whoa. This shouting, we brought it down considerably. At that time, initiation, Shunya initiation means 80% of the people we have to carry them. There would be no state to walk, they would crawl, they will mop the floor, they'll do everything, but they wouldn't be able to walk, they wouldn't be coherent, they would be making all kinds of noises, crawling like this and that. Because when something moves within you, which is neither your body nor your mind, then it's a different world altogether. Well, people think it's some kind of a high. Sadhguru is zapping me and something is happening. Well, that's not the point. What is being zapped is your mind so that you fall on the other side of the mind. Once you fall on the other side of the mind, a completely different dimension begins to speak, which is neither of the body nor of the mind, neither of the world nor of the people. Something totally different. Because your physical body nor your mind is ready to either understand or withstand that expression of life, body crawls, rolls, cries, screams, does all kinds of things. You tell them, hey, stop. Boop. Again, oh, shh, okay. Again, whoa, like this. So after the Dhyanalinga consecration, we made efforts to bring it down. So we didn't want too much screaming because we wanted to present ourselves as a civilized group of people. Yeah. So we changed many things. I changed myself, the way I look. I'm looking nice, I'm pleasant these days. I can't say I'm pretty, but I'm pleasant. Those days, I'm not like that. Boo, everybody goes. So, the shift and the change is for many reasons, but the important thing is, all devices, all aspects of sadhana are given mainly so that you fall on the other side of the mental mirror, not to enhance your imagination, not to enhance your hallucinations. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you sit with Dhyanalinga or you do Shambhavi or you go and sit in the Devi temple or you do whatever else you're doing. Essentially, the thing is to fall on the other side of the mirror. Which way will you get there? Will you leap over the mirror? Will you crawl from the bottom? Will you slip on the sides? These are all the different ways. But essentially, to have a taste of life. Life which is not a product of memory, life which is not a product of time, life which is not an accumulation, life, which is the basis of life. There is no difference between life and the source of life. Life is the source of life. If you bifurcate it as life and God, that is when hallucinations began in the world, big time. Organized hallucinatory process on the planet began because we separated life and God. Life, creation and creator, we separated. The moment we separated this separation happened only in our minds. Show me in one damn place where creation and creator are separated. Show me one damn place in the universe where the creation and the creator exist separately. It's only in the human mind, isn't it? So, we found a way of how to ignore the creation and just be with God. And we became so twisted and, many products you're seeing. We only complain about the ugliest of expressions. We don't complain about the other expressions, that's the problem. Everybody is complaining about ISIS. ISIS must go. Why? It threatens your life. The other distortions doesn't threaten your life, so you think it's okay. But whether you got killed or you never experienced life, it's about the same in my understanding of life. You got killed today, or you lived for 100 years but never tasted life. In my understanding, it's about the same. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you must be killed. All I'm saying is you must experience life. So when the most horrible expressions happen, we complain. When mildly that kind of expressions happen, we think it's okay. It's not okay. The fundamental thing is this. The fundamental problem of the mind is, if you give it enough memory, then it will start talking about things that it does not know. If you do not have a little distance between you and your body, between you and your mind, if you do not know how to go behind them for a little while, then you will be a victim of your own body and your own mind. The compulsions of your body and the compulsions of your mind determine everything about your life, isn't it? And people think it's perfectly normal. Normality. Oh, it's a new year, Sadhguru, what? Let's play some music and you dance, why am I talking all this to you? In the the North American Association of Physicians, the president of this association came up for their annual meeting, which is on 1st January, and started his speech. The revenues of medical professionals has considerably decreased in the past year due to an epidemic of good health. Right now, I'm going to curse you, may you suffer an epidemic of good health. No, this is a curse because now you will have no excuse for your misery. You know it's just you. If an ailment is there, "Yo, Sadhguru, what can I do this?" Now you're suffering an epidemic of good health. Now you must understand, your misery is entirely your making. Yeah? So I'm cursing you with an epidemic of good health so that you don't have a goddamn excuse this entire year. You know, every misery that you cause is your own making. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. Yes. Because you must understand this. The life within knows no such thing as unpleasantness. It is only the sensations and the mind which can cause unpleasantness. Because the life is either little inert or exuberant. It does not know how to be unpleasant. Unpleasantness can be of the sensory body, or unpleasantness is normally of the mind. There is no such thing as unpleasantness in life. Once you fall on the other side of the mirror, once you do not know what is unpleasantness within you, whatever happens is just surface waves that happen here and there. Once you know this experientially, now you will become a devotee of life. That's what is needed in the world today. People have become devotees of God and willing to take life. People have to become devoted to life. How will they become devoted to life when they have not experienced it? You can talk about it as much as you want, but they will not be devoted to life because they don't know where it is and how it is. But they know God. They know where He is, how He is, What is he doing today? Did somebody check? How did he celebrate the new year? So, because of this, too many things have happened in the world. So I want you to start this world. Now, you're not listening. I said I want you to start this world because I want you to understand there is no world anywhere else. The world that you remember in your memory is not the world. The world is now. You can start this world. Every moment you have to start the world. If you have to start the world, you have to… See, if you want to experience the world, you must get out of the cinema theater, isn't it? You're sitting in the cinema theater, let's say it so happened, you went and sat in the cinema theater, anyway there's lots of food and drink there, and of course there is a toilet. So you just sat there for 3 months. We will reverse the thing. Instead of doing 3 months eyes closed, you sat there 3 months watching cinema after cinema, cinema after cinema, cinema after cinema, all 3D IMAX. You must understand this. The word is IMAX. You understand? You are the one who is maxing it out. So you sat there for 3 months. Suddenly you come out into the world, it looks unreal. All these people look too puny and useless. Yes or no? Those cinema women and men, wow, how they were. Look at these. Reality will be no good. Yes or no? 3 months you continuously watch cinema, suddenly everything else seems to have paled. This is what is happening to you. What you're seeing in the mirror of your mind is nothing but a cinema. It's a play of images that you have gathered. Endlessly it plays. That it looks like the other side is not life, only this side is life. It is like suppose, let's say you were all living in a mental asylum. No, it's not necessarily hypothetical, okay? But let us say you were all living in a mental asylum, different states of insanity. Suddenly one sane guy came and started talking something totally different. You would all definitely conclude, this guy is insane. Yes or no? It's happened through history. Why a Manzoor was stoned to death? Why a Socrates was poisoned? Why a Jesus is crucified? Simply because in a world of insanity, one guy starts talking something, too much sense, we can't take it. So, you must either accept your insanity or the best thing is to kill the guy. Till now, we have taken the second option. Now, there is no need to listen to anybody. If you pay attention, life is constantly making its own statement. In this huge statement that the mind is making, very colorful statement that the mind is making, somewhere behind that, life is constantly making its own statement. You just have to get in touch with that. Doesn't matter what the mind is saying. Today, what is today's reality show on the mind? No, we can call this news, because today in India, news happens like reality show. So you can call it whatever you want, but the television is on. Most homes have become like this. You know. And because the television is on, your child is playing, not important, your wife is seeking your attention, not important, something else happening, not important. What's happening on the television screen is more real than the real, isn't it? I'm telling you, on another level, it's the same with the mind. What's happening on the screen of your mind seems to be more real than the real, but you can watch a television, you can dream, you can hallucinate, you can do whatever nonsense you want, only because you're alive. Yes? If you do not know this aliveness, what it means in terms of experience, what this aliveness is, if you do not know this, I am here right now, not as words, not as a sentence, okay, I am here, not that kind. Simply, just right now, I'm here, okay, I'm hearing things, I'm seeing things, that's not the point. I'm here right now. This is the most important thing. If you're here right now, if you capture one moment, you capture eternity. If you capture one moment, you capture the entire cosmos.